how many laps have you done in your entire life? Everybody knows track time is an important factor to developing racing skills. A driver with 10,000 laps of experience will most likely perform better than his friend who visits his house and drives in the sim for 50 laps. The pros talk a lot about how many hours per week they practice. It is somewhere between 20 and 30 hours in case you don't know. But have you ever wondered how many laps you have done in your entire life? Just the number of laps you've done is a very simplistic way of measuring and expecting performance from a driver. But along with other factors like at what age you have done these laps, the quality of coaching and level of performance of teammates and leagues you've participated, track time is still among the most important factors to becoming a great racing driver. A driver with more than 20,000 laps will most likely drive better than others with 5,000 laps. Think about how this may explain why you just can't imagine yourself doing the lap times an alien racing driver is doing currently. But add the 15,000 laps to your practice and you may possibly even beat these times. Of course, it's not that easy to know how many laps of experience everyone in your grid has, but it's a good reflection anyways. This graph is an attempt to illustrate the development of technique over time. I try to represent the y-axis as the distance to an ideal perfect lap time. You know, beginners are very far away from the ideal lap times and start improving by gaining big chunks of lap time. And these chunks become smaller and smaller up to a point where struggling to find hundredths of a second. The line will generally have this shape, but there can be some situations that affect the line here and there. One example is the plateau, that stage in our career where we just can't find improvements. We're stuck. Of course, this happens when we are not perfectly aware of what the car needs or what we need to do to make the car behave differently. Plateaus are incredibly common in motorsports because most people think they will become fast without proper instruction. Then they develop bad habits and get stuck much more easily. Some bad habits may even get worse over time and decrease your driving performance a little bit. Although we cannot really control all these factors like age or the quality of instruction when you were a kid, there are factors we can still control to keep the technique improving as fast as humanly possible. You can learn how to make better use of your track time by watching this video. A driver who makes the best possible use of their practice time will most likely reach the level of the average 20,000 laps old driver, but with only 5,000 laps or even less. Remember that some tracks have very short lap times like Lime Rock Park or oval tracks, while other tracks can have lap times of almost 10 minutes like the Nordschleife. So this is by no means an accurate measuring tool. Actual driving time measured in hours instead of laps could be a more accurate approach. Most drivers will end up driving all the tracks a little bit, so it's not like this would affect too much the lap times approach. Also, we're doing this for fun, so why not? I started thinking a little bit about how many laps I have done, so I decided to pull up all my laps in the VRS telemetry service that I use in iracing. Now, mind that I did not record absolutely all my laps from iracing to VRS, but I can say it's probably around 90%. I joined the sim mid-2018, and just a few months later, I already started uploading my laps to VRS. Also, I do remember not using VRS for some time here and there for various reasons, but I still think 90% is a good guess. Before iracing, I had done around 2 years of Assetto Corsa, one being more competitive year and doing leagues, and always played racing games like Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Forza, Need for Speed, etc. Although the technique is not exactly the same, some skills will definitely be transferred within games and sims and even real life. After checking the VRS lap times, I compared that number with iracing total laps available in the driver stats page on their website. The difference between the lap times measured in iracing and VRS is that VRS includes test sessions and practice sessions, whereas iracing measures only the official sessions like races. This is how I measured my VRS laps. It might have been a stupidly slow method, and if some other tool could measure that, let me know in the comments. I went to my driving stats on the website and then selected all seasons, all tracks, and all cars and started counting the laps manually. It took me some time. My count was 52,263 laps registered in VRS. When I was driving competitively in a Assetto Corsa, I would guess I drove around 5,000 laps in 2 years. I can't really measure this anywhere, so we'll stick with this number. From my childhood until sim racing, I drove in a lot of racing games, but not seriously, so I'll count around 5,000 laps during childhood and adolescence. This would add up to a total of around 60,000 laps. Does this really matter? Like I said, if these were effective, focused laps with good instruction, yes, that matters a lot. To be honest, even skills that come from outside sports like gaming skills, skating, surfing, longboarding, etc. add up and will affect heavily the effect on lap count versus performance in racing driving. Do you have the patience to count your laps? If you do, please comment below how many laps you have done in your life, estimating the non-registered laps with the registered ones. Like and subscribe this video to support this channel if you think I deserve it, and I will see you guys in the next one.